Hey guys, I'm Saurav, welcome to the channel. I know the setup looks a bit identical. I'm sticking with this one right now. I'll definitely experiment in future. Today in this video, I'm talking about hyperfocal distance. A photography tutorial after such a long time, right? So, what is hyperfocal distance? It's a bit confusing topic and even I haven't talked about it before because even I was confused, to be honest. I have done some research and today in this video I will explain exactly what hyperfocal distance is and how to use it to get the best quality images out of your camera. This is going to be slightly technical. I have also put some of the links in the description to refer. It's going to be slightly technical as I said, but super exciting. I'm super excited as usual, so without wasting any time, let's get started. First of all, before even understanding what hyperfocal distance is, let's understand the problem we are dealing with. When you focus on the background is sharp, but the foreground, which is closer to the camera, is not. And similarly, if you focus on the foreground, the background is not sharp. The obvious solution some might think of is to use a very small aperture, something like f22 or even smaller. Now, the solution is not ideal because after a certain point, known as the sweet spot of the lens, the sharpness of the lens starts to reduce. So, what is the solution? The solution is to focus somewhere in between the foreground and background, a point where you get the maximum depth of field. This point is known as hyperfocal distance. Think of it as like this. You're trying to focus as close as you can, but the background should be sharp. If you focus closer than this point, then the background is not sharp and you're defeating the purpose. Let's say x is the hyperfocal distance. Everything from x by 2 to infinity will be in focus. I know there's a bit of math involved, it's a bit technical, but don't worry, as we move ahead, I'll simplify it for you. Now that you have a basic idea of hyperfocal distance, let's talk about it in detail. Hyperfocal distance depends on three factors: the aperture, the focal length, and the crop factor. Talking about aperture, if you're using a wide aperture, something like f1.8 or 2.8, and you focus closer, the background is going to be out of focus. So you have to focus farther away. But if you're using a smaller aperture like f8 or f10 and you're increasing the depth of field, even if you focus closer, still the chances are the background will be in focus and the background will be sharp. So as you use a smaller aperture, the hyperfocal distance reduces. Talking about focal length, this is super important. When you're using a wide-angle lens, even if you focus closer, the background is sharp. But on the other hand, if you're using a zoom lens, as you start zooming in, if you focus closer, the background is going to be out of focus. So, as the focal length increases, the hyperfocal distance also increases. The last factor is the crop factor. It's pretty obvious. Example, if you're using a crop sensor camera compared to a full frame camera, you're zooming in more. And as we discussed, as you zoom in more, the hyperfocal distance increases. The question is, how do we calculate this hyperfocal distance? There are a lot of complex methods, including a lot of mathematics, but don't worry, I'll give you a very practical approach to calculate and get sharp images. But before that, it's time to thank the sponsors of the video who made this video possible, and that is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform. It has a lot of classes belonging to different genres. You want to learn photography? There are a lot of classes covering different topics. You want to learn videography, animation, editing? Skillshare is the place to go. I completed a course by Sean Delton on creative portrait photography, where he shares a lot of practical hacks to get different types of portraits. He also shares his workflow of working in natural light and artificial light as well. At the end, he covers the editing process too. If you want to learn something interesting, if you want to upgrade your skills, check out Skillshare. The link is in the description below. For the first 1,000 people to click on the link in the description, you get a 1-month free Skillshare trial membership. Talking about calculating hyperfocal distance, this is the formula. Okay, calm down, do not be stressed, we are not going to use the formula. If we have to take something from the formula, is that as you increase the focal length, the hyperfocal distance increases. As you use a smaller aperture, meaning a larger number aperture like f10, f16, f22, the hyperfocal distance reduces. A more practical approach to calculate hyperfocal distance is to use the double the distance method. Remember I told you, if the hyperfocal distance is at x, everything from x by 2 to infinity will be in focus. Use this to your advantage. If you have a foreground subject suppose at a distance of 4 feet, focus at 8 feet, and everything from 4 feet to infinity will be in focus. That's it, it's very simple. Now, the problem is, some of the lenses don't have a focusing scale. Some of them have it, but they are not that accurate. What you can do in such situations is walk and calculate the number of steps from the camera to the foreground subject, and then walk the same number of steps from the foreground subject and now focus at this particular point, and everything including the foreground subject and the background will be in focus. Sometimes this won't be possible. Imagine you're at the edge of the mountain. It's not a good idea to cross it, right? At such times, what you can do is use mobile application. I'll link some of the mobile applications in the description below. You just have to put the sensor you're using, your aperture, your focal length, and it will give you the hyperfocal distance. This is a very simple way and a practical approach which a lot of landscape photographers use. Initially, you might have difficulty approximating the distance. Let's say the hyperfocal distance is 50 meters, but you don't have an idea how long 50 meters is. Don't worry, you should practice, you should experiment, and you will get better at it eventually. The second tip is always after taking the image, zoom in 100% and double check the focus. When you take the image and you see it on the LCD screen is very small and you won't get an idea if the image is stacked sharp. So always zoom in and double check the focus, because this is something you cannot adjust in post-processing. The next step is to reduce your in-camera JPEG sharpening. Even if you're shooting in RAW, which you should always use, the preview that you see on the LCD camera screen is the JPEG preview. And if the JPEG sharpening is set to be high, it might trick you to believe the image is in focus and sharp even if the image is not in focus. So always set the JPEG sharpening to be low so you get a better idea. The last tip for today is to understand the hyperfocal distance is not a perfect method. There's a limitation to how much depth of field you can get with a particular lens and aperture combination. And that is why I would suggest use focus stacking if possible. It includes post-processing and it's a very good method to get sharp images. I have a separate in-depth video about it. The link will be in the description. That's it from this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a bit technical. You might have to watch the video multiple times to get a better idea. But I hope the video helped you. And if it did, press the like button. New to the channel, subscribe to the channel for more such awesome content. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.